Hi, I'm Robert Spencer. This is Moving Beyond. Today I have a pretty short video for you. I want to read for you a poem that was written by a friend of mine named Jenny May. Jenny has been a Feldenkrais student with me for many years, and she is a massage therapist extraordinaire. She's a delight to work with and to know. Now, years ago, Jenny came for a private lesson, what we call functional integration. For some reason that day, I decided that the thing that would probably be the most effective I could offer her is a lesson in which there's some very gentle touching and stimulation of the face. Now, a little background to this strategy is that we believe in Feldenkrais work, and we're not alone in this in the professional world, that no one part of us is ever isolated from the whole. Now, an illustration of this is if I want to point up here at something, it is not my finger, it's not my arm that points. You can see that my balance has to change. Everything has to move. You can see part of me on the video. It is not the finger that points. I point. And the pointing function, the function of reaching and pointing and identifying that spot, orienting to it, has to involve all of me in an integrated fashion. Hence, we call the work functional integration. If it's disintegrated, it doesn't integrate well, over time there can be a lot of problems that develop because of that. Now, what that means is when we do some work with somebody and we can affect a change somewhere in the body, we're not working on that part of the body, but that part of the body is the entry that we take to get into the whole person's system, where things can begin to rearrange and integrate on that very deep level. It's much different than simply trying to isolate a particular muscle and make it stronger, or to stretch a particular muscle and make a joint that it's attached to more flexible. It's very different than that. Now, the face is a case in point on this. This face is all these muscles, is one of the main, let's say, organs that we use to broadcast who we take ourselves to be. The persona by which I know myself. The character that goes out and acts through my own individual drama in the world. So it broadcasts my self-image, it broadcasts my emotional state, it broadcasts my attitudes, my beliefs, my judgments, all of that. And the face isn't alone in that, but it is a big part of how we send out that information. And it is a way through feeling what I'm doing with that without even realizing it is, in a sense, how I know who I am for a moment, or at least how I know who I take myself to be right then. Now, it'd be great to sit over coffee sometime with you and have a philosophical discussion about whether that's the true self or whether there's some other self that's deeper than that. But that's not for this time. So we did this lesson with Jenny using the face to try and enter into her whole system. It's very delicate work. It can't be done with very much force. Let's say, for example, I'm working with someone and I notice that they keep their lips really tight, kind of folded under, so there's only a line of lip. Now, it takes a lot of work to do that. If you've been doing it for years, you don't even know anymore how much work it is. But I will do something perhaps like just say, look, and I don't say this out loud, but the implication is like this. Here, let me do that for you. And I will try just very delicately to take over the work that those muscles around the mouth are doing. And in a little while, I can often feel there's a change in the tissue underneath, a change in the muscular activity. Then I can let go, and we can then experiment with other things that you can do with that part of your face, and maybe even arrive at a moment where you're not doing anything with your upper lip. And we'll do that all over, looking for places where the persona, the character, is being broadcast into the world and acted out. Now, somebody who is as astute as Jenny will have a very deep experience with that, because they'll arrive at a point where the face is nothing more than the soft tissue resting gently over the bone underneath. They're not expressing, they're not broadcasting anything. They're not trying to be anyone or any particular way. They just are. And the contrast between that state of being and what they had a half hour or an hour before is astounding to someone who's paying attention. And then if you're aware like Jenny is, you carry that out into the world and you can feel when your habitual sense of self starts to be expressed again. And it's really interesting then to stop and look around if you've got the time and say, you know, why did I think I needed that now? Something in me called that forth, began to broadcast that again right now. What's really going on, and is that absolutely necessary for me in this moment? So Jenny had that kind of astuteness and awareness, and she went home and she wrote this poem. Now, I came across this poem in a file I was looking at the other day, and I was touched by it again, and I asked her permission to share it with you. So here it is, Touched by Grace by Jenny May. Touched by grace, hands filled with love move tenderness and delicacy through my body. Dropping all sense of need, I realize that in each miracle moment, I can renew any aspect of my body and mind. No longer a chiseled and unchangeable form, I am precious moist clay, adaptable, free-forming, becoming. And the music that plays in my body sings, the gift of love on this earth springs from hands of self-acceptance. All right, that's something to think about. If you want to get the text of this, it's actually posted on my website right now. That's www.robertlspencer.com. Click on the classes page, and I have it printed there for you. Now, it won't be there for too long. Pretty soon I'm going to have to make some announcements about upcoming events. But for now, we have Jenny's poem there and more. So with that, I bid you farewell. Live long and prosper, my friends. See you next time. Thank you.